Good morning, Dad, and happy Shamanic Sundays.
Good morning. Blessings to all listening.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome to our Shamanic Sundays community out there in the world. Always a blessing to have this time to connect together. So thank you for being here. And we like to start with a prayer of gratitude because I was taught by my dad here, Tom, who was taught by his indigenous teachers, mentors, that importance of sacred reciprocity, giving and taking in balance. So before we put forth a question, let's give a prayer of thanks for being here. If you would lead us into that, Dad. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. It's all about thank you. Thank you, Great Spirit, Creator, Wisdom, Power of the universe, for giving us this breath of life that flows in through our mouth, through our nose, and brings us that vitalizing energy that believes in us and wants us here. And so it gives us the life force. So thank you for that. Thank you for the gifts of creation. Thank you for our ancestors, our ancestral lines, and the ancestor spirits of the land we live on. We remember you here, and prayers for your well-being. And thank you for our families, our communities, and thank you for even the challenges of our lives, which are not in our comfort zone, but give us opportunity to do deep inner work, to show up in the challenges and listen for wisdom guidance about what we can do to open a doorway to somehow bring through healing, bring through more what I call sweet medicine. Love, tenderness, kindness, compassion, empathy, support, celebration. So thank you for the gifts of opportunity you give us through this life force energy flowing in to wake up, to wise up, and live love now. Hope. Amprios.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I want to share today that I've been blessed to be on a little getaway for some healing. And where I am, there's been a lot of whales. And it's been really cool to be. I haven't gone out in like one of the touristy boats. We're down on the coast of Mexico, and I could just keep seeing them off in the distance. Like they're just always up there dancing, and it's just so beautiful to see. So we didn't get any quotes this week, not any quotes, any questions this week. But I do want to remind folks that they can always put questions into our chat here, and we love to see you here. So please drop in your name, say hello, where you're from. Thank you. And so the whale wisdom, from what I know, represents ancient wisdom, right? They're one of the oldest creatures. I think like 3.8. I'm going to look at my notes if I remember how long ago they've been here for. 50 million years ago. Current whales appeared in the ocean around 50 million years ago. So they hold an ancestral wisdom for sure that many believe are just to take a path of peace, and that certainly seems to be the way that they live out in the ocean. So I was going to ask you, Dad, to I think that all of us hold ancient wisdom, right? If we go back to all of us being part of an ecosystem, the way you talk about it, that we're stardust brought to Earth, right? So I feel like so many of us forget that we hold wisdom, and we get so distracted by all the day-to-day things that are stressing us out, or the bling of the day or the challenges of the day. So if you could bring us into talk a little bit about connecting with deeper wisdom and some tools that we might be able to use in daily life to do that.
And tools to what?
Tools to connect with our deeper wisdom.
Tools to connect with our deeper wisdom.
Like our whale wisdom that we all carry.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the whale spirits and protection prayers. Every morning when I go to East and give my thankfulness prayers, part of that in the west, facing the ocean here, Mother Ocean, Pacific, what the Huichols call Spirit of the Western Ocean, Tate Haramara. I'll give thanks for the whale people and prayers for their protection. And I had many years ago on a sailboat off the Channel Islands, a very deep, powerful experience with what I came to know as the Whale Council of Elders. Um, and so I have a personal connection with the whale spirits and deep gratitude for the wisdom they carry, the ancient songs they sing that reverberate around through Mother Oceans throughout the world. So,
Can you actually tell us a little bit about why you were invited to go out on that boat,
well,
that journey?
side trip, but fine with me to go on a side trip. Um, I was, I think it was 1994 in Ireland in Killarney. There was an international conference of transpersonal psychology association, and I was invited speaker and would be doing a workshop there with my medicine brother Ralph Metzner. And I was supposed to be rooming with Terrence McKenna because we were friends, but in this little cute little third-story place in Killarney. But something happened and he wasn't able to come, so I had the room to myself. Anyway, the conference was a week-long conference, and I gave my talk one day, and tremendous music in Ireland, the spirit of the land, the spirit of the people, was just incredibly powerful music. And on the way back after the activities of the conference ended about 10 o'clock, I was walking the 3 blocks back through the town of Killarney to where the hotel was that I was staying, and all the pubs are open and singing, and it was a warm night, so they're kind of open to the street, and there's a little crowd out in front of one pub, and I liked the tune of the music, so I stopped and listened, and appreciating that music, and bopping up and down, having a good time, and I got into conversation with this guy afterwards. It turned out it heard me do my talk at the conference, and it turns out he had a program. He had a 75-foot sailboat in the harbor down at Santa Barbara here, ironically, and he took high school students out with scientists tracking blue whales. This was an ongoing project every year. He took out, I don't know how many groups of high school kids, but the scientists, there was a continuation of them, and they were working on this long-term project of tracking blue whales. And so he asked me, he said, would you be willing to come to sea for us for a week on the sailboat as we engage in this tracking of the blue whales? And they're rare to see and hard to find. And would you come and do some shamanic work to try to call them to us? Well, I'd never had that request before, and of course, I didn't know if I could do it or make it happen or anything. But I'm not going to say no to an opportunity like that. So I said, sure.
I remember you were so excited about that.
Yeah. So I was really excited about it, and when after a couple of nights out there, I said, okay, to the high school students, we met on the deck. In fact, I never went below the deck because I get seasick, and staying up on the deck, I did fine. And fortunately, we had good weather under the stars at night. Sleeping out on the deck was beautiful, fantastic. And the second night or so, I had the kids make prayer arrows because they said, we all want to see the blue whales. We're asking for them. We're asking of them something that we want. And so, in right relationship, the theme of what you asked about, gratitude. Before we ask for something from the whales, let's recognize that we need to give thanks to them for their lives. And all kinds of whales are threatened, as is Mother Ocean herself, threatened by the pollution activities that us two-leggeds do. I said we need to go down there and connect with the whale spirits and thank them for their being and prayers for their families and their protection in their lives before we ask for their to come make a physical appearance to us. So I did a drum journey with the kids, and we took them down, carrying those prayer arrows down to the bottom of the ocean where the Whale Council of Elders was, and introduced myself and the kids to the Whale Council of Elders and thanked them for their being and told them why we were there and prayers for their lives and gratitude. And then I had each one of the kids on this inner journey with the drum, come up for the council of elders and do their prayers, their Thanksgiving prayers, and then speak to why they were asking the whale spirits to make an appearance on the physical plane. And so each kid did this, and we finished the journey and thanked the whale spirits, and then journeyed back up onto the boat and went to sleep that night. And there were a number of gray whales around throughout the week, but no blue whales. And there was always somebody up on the top of the mast there, doing lookout far away. And one of the kids on their turn up there yelled out excitedly. They saw what they thought was a blue whale, and so we sailed off in that direction. And a little bit of time later, all of a sudden, surfacing up from the depths is a blue whale and circles our boat 3 times around slowly, about 5 feet away from our boat. So we're all at the railing, excitedly seeing and greeting and in joy and ecstasy at seeing this magnificent being. And this boat is 75 feet long. And so the blue whale, when it's parallel to our boat, its head is way in front of the boat, its tail is way behind the boat. There's one big mother, big people. Oh, praise be. And so that whale just goes around 3 times. And the scientists and the captain of the boat who invited me there are in awe about that. This has never happened before. And then the whale went back down beneath the surface and swam off, and everybody was like kind of stunned and grateful. So that's the story of how I connected with the Whale Council of Elders, and it holds a teaching for me anyway, and maybe for some of you, that when you're asked to or confronted or challenged to do something that you're not sure you can do, and it feels like right to try to do it, but you don't know if you can do it, and you feel inadequate or not up to the task, or it's like impossible, whatever. But nevertheless, you're being asked to do something by circumstances, or your own external circumstances or internal circumstances, and that self-doubt comes up. If it feels right in your heart, go for it. Just go for it with a good heart, and with gratitude prayers for the opportunity to go for whatever your heart's calling you to. And the surrender into spirit, because with spirit's help, anything's possible. And so it's possible for a guy like myself, doesn't know what he's doing his drum journey with his kids, and the blue whale comes up from the bottom of the ocean and circles the boat 3 times. You never know what's possible unless you show up and give it your best shot. And showing up and giving it your best shot starts with gratitude, with thankfulness for no matter what the challenges are in your body, your mind, your spirit, your life, your family. Being alive, have the opportunity to create a response to it, to use it to wake up and to wise up and to live love now with gratitude for being alive, for the life force, for the angels of protection that have brought you this far, and growing stronger through prayers of gratitude, because grace grows where gratitude flows. So if you want more grace in your life, drop in and listen to, what do I have to be thankful for? What's sweet in my life right now that makes my heart sing? And listening to that, and if you want, you can breathe into that and kind of expand those feelings, because the feelings are energy, and with breath consciously focus, you can expand those feelings, and they grow brighter and stronger and flow through your body, or your circulatory system, your respiratory, your digestive, your hearts, your lungs, flow through your entire being, vitalizing and energizing and healing and restoring health and wellness, so you can show up and bring forth the gifts that Spirit's given you to bring forth for your life. Fullest blossoming, greatest good. The doorway all starts with gratitude. Oh. Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. I love that story. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so grateful that you got to do that, and I'm so grateful that you got to share that with us here today. Thank you.
Yeah, and just one more point about that. I mean, it all started, I'm standing outside a bar in Ireland, listening to music, and the guy next to me turns out to live in Santa Barbara, where now I live 50 years later, whatever, 40 years later. Anyway, feedback from the universe about the interconnectedness, and show up with your heart and spirit, like I was with that music. listening in Ireland, and you never know what can happen. Never know what doors are going to open and what they can lead to that would be, just blow your mind. Oh,
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's a good reminder this time of year. Our dear Susan was mentioning on the chat here about feeling some sadness because some family, isn't all going to be around to this holiday season. And I know that a lot of folks, with all the beauty of the holiday season, there's also a real melancholiness of one, it's the dark time of winter, but maybe sadnesses of things that didn't happen that you wanted them to happen, or people you miss that are no longer with us, or just not geographically nearby. So maybe you could guide us in certainly whales are connectors. There's no question about that. So if you could guide us in a visualization about using whale energy to stay connected to our deeper wisdom and staying open to the wisdom of the universe so that we can have the courage and strength to just keep showing up. Because like you said, we never know who we might meet and what scientist might invite us out on a whaleboat around the next corner. So how does that sound?
okay, it sounds good. See if,
Okay, thank
see
you.
if I can remember any of it.
Mainly just, I know I tend to ramble. I don't know where I get that
Your
from,
mother.
but yeah, exactly. But just a visualization using the whale wisdom to remember our connection with each other and ourselves.
All right.
Thank you.
Let me just take a moment and kind of let all of that energy sink down and hit bottom and just be with it, and then watch and see what comes up in response. So I invite you to join me in that deeper listening process. It's always available to us when we choose it. When we choose to kind of just bring our awareness inside, and closing the eyelids, of course, helps that. And bringing our awareness into feeling, sensing what's taking place, what our body's aware of, just letting our gift of our awareness move through our bodies, a physical container for our spirits. Being breathed, being breathed, being breathed. And give an opportunity with every breath out to release energy that literally is no longer needed for our well-being. And just doing that consciously, noticing that consciously, the breath out, the releasing, the letting go, and the still calm point between the tides turning, you might say, before the next wave of energy flows in from the ocean of infinite being and enlivening us, energizing us, polishing up our stardust, and the releasing and letting go of tension or tightness or energy that doesn't serve our well-being, with the breath flowing out and away. And as the whale songs sing about, the ancient songs of the whale people sing about Alaha, sacred unity, remembering and living from sacred unity, awareness of how everything is connected. Everything is interwoven. No such thing as a separate thing. And the whale people carry deep ancient wisdom of that oneness. And the whale people, before they swam in the ocean, they were mammals. They still are mammals, lived on land. Their ancestors came up from Mother Ocean millions of years ago, maybe billions of years ago. Not sure about that. Some of you listeners, I'm sure, know better than me, but a long time ago, they came up on land, to check things out. Let's see what it's like up here on land, man. It's like a whole new scene. Come on, let's check it out. And so they checked it out for however many millions of years. And then I said, yeah, it's cool. A lot of cool things happening, but we're going to go back into Mother Ocean. We just remember that, and we're just going to go back into Mother Ocean and drop in and do our thing there. And they've been doing it peacefully until they started getting wasted by people. Indigenous people did it respectfully, so they gave before they took, and they asked permission, very different than modern whaling industries. It just takes and extracts without any consideration for the spirit of the living being that's life you're taking, creating imbalance, and we suffer the consequences of those imbalances. But that wisdom that lives in the whale people lives in us. For where do the whale people get that wisdom? They get it from the creative wisdom, power, energy of the universe. In them, in us, mammals also. That wisdom, what the Huichol call iyari, means heart memory. We go down deep enough inside of us, down into the earth of our sacred bodies that our spirits live in. We ground all the way down into the bottom of the ocean of our being, at the center of our being, and breathe into that place. The life force coming in with the breath. It infuses an expansion of that life force, an energizing of its vitality and its power that flows through our bodies, healing, strengthening the immune system, giving aid to the immune system, who responds with gratitude. Thanks for this help and support and this work I'm doing to promote your health and wellness and high level wellness, and appreciation, gratitude for the wisdom inside of us that has grown all of us listening right now to recognizing the importance of paying attention, to learn from our life experience, to pay attention to how nature, the wisdom of the spirit, manifests itself in nature, in our bodies, in the cycles of our lives as we move into the end of the fall season toward the winter season and the holidays of, we finished Hanukkah, celebrates the miracle of life, and moving into winter solstice, the return of the light to the dark times as we go into the winter. And here's a chant about that. The faith and trust that Father Sun will return again. In fact, on the winter solstice, Father Sun does begin its journey back closer to Mother Earth as we enter into the winter of darkness and can bring light into those places of our own personal darkness in the world, and how can we create a response to all of that that brings through the gifts that we have been given by Spirit when polished up by the inner work to help address the wounds of the world within ourselves, the wounded little boy, little girl, wounded child, and each other with compassion and empathy, and open our hearts with this gift of life flowing into us to empower the blossomings of the seeds of infinite, unconditional light and love in our hearts, and grow brighter and stronger through the work we do, cultivation in the wintertime, in the womb of the looks within place of great grandmother growth, remembering the sun returns, the sun returns, the sun returns, Yahoo. Honor the darkness, feed your soul, and you will surely grow. The sun returns, the sun returns, the sun returns, Yahoo. Honor the darkness, feed your soul through these winter times, going within to cultivate the light. And by the way, our bodies produce light itself. Our bodies produce light. Not only are our bodies made of stardust, not only is our life fueled by stardust, our bodies produce photonic light within inside ourselves, with a manifestation of the wisdom of the light and love. That's the essence of our being. So breathing it in, filling ourselves up with that healing light and love, empowering ourselves, strengthening ourselves to be with compassion, whatever our feelings that come up, whatever feelings and sensations and thoughts and feelings come up for us during this winter time as we move closer to Christmas, which is the light returning to the dark places through the birth of Jesus, whether you celebrate that or not. It lies on the back, you might say, of the winter solstice ceremonies, praying for return of the light. And so it comes in many ways in different conditions in the Christian tradition. It comes through Christ coming to Mother Earth and bringing that unconditional light and love. And so we can open to that energy, that Christ conscious energy, no matter what religion or atheists believe we believe in or don't believe in, with every breath, life force, corpore, energy, chi, mana, light, love flowing into us with the breath, filling ourselves up with it, empowering ourselves to show up in the beautiful integrity of who we are, be channels for healing light and love wherever it needs to go to help bring forth fullest blossoming, greatest good, healing in the sacred hoop. And when we're ready, taking a deep breath, holding it for a moment, feel that force of life in you. When you're ready, let go, breathe out, open your eyes, come back in and stretch to visual contact. And here we are. Ho, happy Sunday to everybody. Thank you for your lives. Ho.
Oh, here we are. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful to be here again with you. Thank you so much. Thank you to the whale spirits blessing us with today's inspiration. Thank you for your teachings, Poppy, Dad. And thank you for helping us all to remember our connections and sending you all prayers for the week ahead.
One thing, got to
Yes, sir.
thank you for showing up from Mexico to do this, and congratulations on catching that surfing wave you caught today.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Okay.
If I can catch like one wave a year surfing, I consider that a success.
Yeah, you're ahead of me.
But on that note, let's all have sending good energy and good prayers to you, catching and riding whatever waves you need this week. So, thank you and much love to you all, and we'll be back here next Sunday. Take care. Thanks again. Thank you all.